Hi, I'm Marissa Kozlov. Welcome back for another eMarketer Industry Voices, where we bring you perspectives on how marketers are working through challenges and what they envision for the future of CPG marketing. Joining me today is Lynn Blashford, CMO of White Castle. Lynn, great to have you here.
Hi, Marissa. We always appreciate the opportunity to chat about the brand.
White Castle marked an industry first when it brought its sliders into the grocery aisle in 1987. So, in the last 30 or so years, how has your CPG strategy evolved?
At the time, people were taking crave cases and they'd say, "Give me 100 sliders. I'm going to Arizona. I'm leaving Chicago." And the family says, "I can't come unless I bring White Castle with me." And these stories were just so frequent of people coming into the restaurant, and our general managers would wrap them all up in foil and cellophane, and people would drive across country with sliders to take the family and friends and put them in their own freezer. And then at the same time, microwaves were now starting to become a staple in kitchens across the country. And so our third generation president, Bill Ingram, went to different manufacturers to say, we want to put our slider into the freezer section. And he was turned down by several large, prominent CPG manufacturers. So we decided to do it ourselves.
What changes have you seen in brand perception or the customer mindset?
We've created this new memory of how White Castle is shared in homes. So a lot of what's shifted has been really the consumers that are buying us and shopping for the brand are those that are unfamiliar, the vast majority, with having ever been into a restaurant, which is great because it stands alone, on its own merits of being tasty.
You've made some recent changes to your CPG retail model. Tell us more about that and what factors have contributed to your success.
We've been very fortunate that we've had a lot of organic growth over the decades with very little advertising, very little marketing. A few years ago, we hired a shopper marketing agency to help us be a little more tactical in working with our trade budgets as well as shopper marketing, e-commerce. Retailers, have so many digital platforms now. So I think that's been some of the success. And we've seen the benefit of that by growing new audiences who may be shopping the aisle, but were not selecting White Castle before. So I think that's been a really good opportunity for us to attract some new consumers.
White Castle also has had a lot of marketing firsts, starting with popularizing newspaper coupons in 1932. And you were also the first fast food chain to have its own website in 1996. Which traditional media channels are you still using today?
For the restaurants, because we're a regional chain, it's a little simpler to use traditional media coupled with obviously digital and social. And there's probably not much that we have not tried through the years. And I think the other piece around it, it's not just the platforms, but it's what's the creative. So, what's the kind of tone and entertaining aspect that we're looking at? Is it around gaming? What are the other affinities that this shopper and this consumer have? And I think that's where you'll see us go next.
Between brick and mortar and online sales, White Castle has access to a lot of customer data. How do you use this data to inform future promotional strategies?
The information that comes in is just a plethora. So much. I know a lot of brands are just struggling with, okay, now I've got all this data. What is the best way to use it? We still find that the social listening is probably one aspects that are the most current that we can react to even the fastest. We were finding just a lot of posts where people are, they've microwaved the sliders, they're sitting in bed watching TV or on the laptop, and all of a sudden is, what is this with sliders in bed? And so when we did our latest round of campaign for long live sliders, one of the segments that we used in there is actually, kind of a couple kicking back. You could tell it's that end of the night. Somebody's got the laptop open and eating sliders. And that came out of really just our social listening.
Really interesting learn by the brand right there.
Right.
And this year you're celebrating your 100th birthday. Congratulations. That is certainly a lot of sliders. What is White Castle doing to celebrate this milestone?
We have 10,000 strong through the manufacturing division and our restaurants. We wanted to make sure that we were celebrating with the people that have been with us and who are so loyal for so long. And then the other was consumers, whether it be of the restaurants or the CPG products. So the biggest thing probably culminated this summer with a time machine sweepstakes that we ran, which was all digital, mobile, did a sweepstakes for looking at the decades and looking at the future. We partnered also with Coca-Cola, who's been our partner in the restaurants for 100 years. So we use them in a lot of memorabilia. The brand has a lot of trivia. So there were a lot of trivia questions. Moving into next year, which will be the 35th year for our frozen products in grocery. It's just a story that continues to unfold.
I would love to go back into that White Castle vault and see some of those ads from 100 years ago. And how fantastic to hear about Coca-Cola being a partner for the duration of the company's existence. Lynn, before we close today, let's do a lightning round. In 30 seconds or less, tell us 3 things that we can expect to see from White Castle in 2022.
Well, there'll definitely be some more great new tasty sliders, more continuous fun that we have through some licensing products. Just embark upon the next century of sliders in a way that won't look back, and we'll just continue to look forward to an exciting future.
Lynn, thank you so much for being with us today, for sharing all of these great stories. This was a lot of fun being with you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
And thanks to all of you for tuning into Industry Voices, new every Monday in the eMarketer newsletter. We'll see you soon.